here. Okay, what we need here which is very quick as possible. We need to first of all understand the data set that we are holding. The data set that we are holding. Please follow. I'm having a time, right? This is the first column is the time. So what type of time do I have? It's a year month. Yes, it's a monthly basis, right? It's a frequency for the month. So M stand for months, and then it is M0 January, right? M2 it's February, and then M12. Who can let me know the M12 is for December? So let us move to the second one. It is Inter. Inter stand for the interbank rate. Interbank rate. So the interbank rate. The interbank rate. So you come the one to commercial bank lending, they can borrow and lend each other, right? What type of commercial banks in South Sudan? How many? How many? Like two. Two banks in South Sudan. Equity in South Sudan? The Ecobank and NCBA? Ecobank. Okay, in Rwanda. Okay, in Rwanda, what we are normally know is equity and BK, right? So the BK and equity. So the rate at which BK is lending equities, the rate at which BK is lending equity, it's the interbank, the interbank. So it's mostly like it's gonna be maybe for the year 2008, it was at 8%, right? But let us see maybe for the currency. As of currently, before COVID-19, it was at 5. And you see, it was at 5%. It means BK, if Bank of Kigali wants to lend equity, maybe 50 billion. 50 billion. So 50 billion as the lending. So it will be multiplied by 0.05. And then this will be the interest to lend that BK we use to lend equity, right? And then what do we stand by TB? What do you understand by TB? TB stand for the treasury bills. The treasury bills. Have you had capital markets? No, no. Capital market as a course in financial markets or in year two. Yeah. Now it's very simple. The treasury treasury bills, but also all bonds, right? So what is the difference between treasury bills and treasury bonds? Who can let me know? The treasury bills are short term, and then treasury bonds are long term. And then in treasury bills, how many categories are we having in short term? How many types of the bill? So we have 30 days, 30 days. We have 90 days. We have 180 days. And then we have 360, 64, I think, 65 days. Oh, no, no, no. 270. Because it should be less than 1 year, right? Okay, how many weeks are in 30 days? How many weeks are 4 weeks? How many weeks are in 90 days? 12. How many weeks are in 24? Are you sure? Yes, 24. And then how many weeks are in 26, 270 times it's almost 50. Okay. Okay, let us consider that we have also 360, right? The weeks will be 52, right? What if I'm changing to? What if I'm just writing TB? If I'm writing TB4, I'll be saying it's like to say treasury bills of 30 days. If I'm if I if I write TB13, it's like I'm just I want to mean TBs of 90 days. TB TB26, almost 180. TB 52, almost 360 days. Are we together? So do you see what we are trying to regress? Okay, so I'm trying to look at the rate that the commercial is lending each other and the rate at which they can buy or they can buy T-bills, they can lend to the government. How commercial banks the rate they can rent each other or the rate they can rent the government. I hope you're going to replicate this. This will be tomorrow's assignment. Continue disturbing. Okay. So my equation will be T bill as Y alpha naught plus alpha 1 treasury bills of 13 days of 30 days of 13 weeks plus my error time. Can we take for the questionnaire for the treasury rate? Okay. Sorry. Let me get the rates. This is an interbank rate. So this is our Y, right? So we are going to test for our Y the stationarity and even also the T bills of 13 for the stationarity. Both. Okay, what I did was to copy. So I've already copied my data sets. So I'll be clear. I'll be clear, right? Oh, let me just open the newspaper for you to see what you're going to do. I'm opening the newspaper. I don't have any information. Okay, for the first time, someone asked me how can we import the data sets in Stata. So we come to browse, the browse for edits, not the yes, not the browse for reading, because you have two browse. You have the browse for edit and the browse for okay, the browse is the browse okay, data editor browse, but even also the data editor, the first one. And then I can just because I have just copied from the Excel, you have the Excel here. I have just copied. You can see that my data set is in terms of copy and then paste. You can let me just repeat. I will come here in my Excel on the top corner and then select all my data sets up to downward, copy, minimize, and then come to the first Excel. And then so as long as I'll be pasting, I will need to select the first row as the variable name and then just confirm. Can you see? Now I have just copied my data to Stata, right? No, I can't repeat. You'll be repeating. You'll be saying it in a video, right? So the issue that I'm holding is to have the red data. The red data, I need to convert this red data to the blue one to be able to work on it. Can we summarize? So if we summarize, you will not be able to see the time variable, right? So you need to encode. You need to encode. How to encode? To transform a string to a textual data. You type encode. Let's make it bigger. Yes, at least this one. Encodes. Encode what my variable one, comma, generates brackets, and I want to call it to be time. So I want to transform my variable one to be an analyzable variable. So now I have just generate a new variable called time, but from var1. So let us browse. So if you browse, you will see that automatically I have just created a new variable with a blue color, right? From the first. Can I just repeat? You see the record, right? Okay, let me just. Okay. So can we set this to be a time series? So it says P. Which command will I use? The phone is not allowed in the class, please. The phone is not allowed. The phone is not allowed. Please go out. Second times I will record your roll number. And then time. So now my data is settled, right? To be a time series. So can we do a default for our Y? Our Y is Interbank, right? And even also our X is TB13. So let us do as quick as possible. We are going to do DK folder for our interbank rate. The p value is is greater than 5%. So my p value is greater than 5%. Are we, am I rejecting or accepting? So this is my p value is 37%. Yes, it is higher than 5%. So I'm failing to reject. So which means my row, my series is suffering the unit root. It's not stationary. Not stationary. Right? So my interbank rate is not stationary. Can we plot it? Let us plot it and see by graphical. If we just say two-way, two-way line, and then you just plot time against interbank, like it. Okay. You can see it's quite similar to be a random walk. Okay, but I have just put it in a long way. Let me just start with interbank versus time. Can you see it's a random? It's a random walk. So it can't be stationary, right? Because it has different mean. So here I have one mean, the other way I'm having another mean, then the other mean. So across time there is different mean. Can we test for the testanality for the TBLs? BF, the fuller, interbank. So the p value is also higher. My p value is 59.12, greater than 5%. My null hypothesis is we fail, to reject. Can we plot it? Hey, do you want to have a picture? But also you have also the record, okay? No worries. Okay, can we plot it to see virtually? Okay, by graph. So you can say two-way bracket 9 T, TB time bracket. So let us see virtual on the graphical. Is it stationary? No, it's not stationary. So both graph and even also by test, it is confirming that it is not stationary. So now I'm having two series which is not stationary. Is it possible to plot it both at the same time? Okay, let us plot both at the same time. I can just add interbank. So can you see both at the same time? Uh-huh. That's what we were trying to run for the past in the past session. So let me just copy, then screenshot. Yes, please. So why they are not stationary? It's because its p value is not is greater than 5%. You have just run a test, and then its p value is higher than 5%. So this means if we run a Dikikura, and then the p value is higher than 5%, we fail to reject our null hypothesis, which is saying that our series is contained a unit root test. Yes, yes, yes. We decide basing on a p-value, but also we can also decide basing on a tick I create versus the tick critical. You can see guys who are not repeating what we are learning. You guys, you are studying research. Today is Tuesday, and then HOD enforced you to do the first correction, and the first one is okay. Now, as long as you have this graph, things are on its end. So the cointegration, we saw that the cointegration is looking at well the distance between the two line, the distance between the two line, whether it's stationary, right? The cointegration is saying even though the series are not stationary, both series are not stationary, even though this follow, this is your thesis. This could be your thesis. This could be your thesis. It could be a nice thesis for you. If you have both all the observation till 2025, if you can have all the observation till 2025, here I swear you can have multiple theses, multiple observations from here. So what we are looking at is this one. It is to look at whether the gap between the treasury bills and the interbank, whether it's stationary alongside the time, right? So obviously you can confirm that it's not, right? But we need to test. We need to test. We need to test. Because of okay. Okay. How can we test whether the gap is stationary? It is to I have my y. Please follow. At the back, please follow. At the back, please follow. I want to test whether the gap is stationary. If I have y which is equal to my x plus error term. So if I want to search for the error term, it will be error term it will be equal to y negative my x, right? So if my equation is this one, and then if I want to reverse by starting the error term, I will just take the error term, which is equal to y negative x. So can we make it in theta? So we are going to generate ut, which is equal to y negative x, right? What is my y? My y is an interval. Negative. What is my x? TB13, yes. So now I have generated my error term. Can we try to browse and then see whether we have generated? So this is my error term. Oh, the gap between my y and x. And then can we test whether my error time is stationary? If my error time will be stationary, I will confirm that the series are co-integrating. We are going to test for the stationary only. If our error time is stationary alongside the time, we confirm that the two series are co-integrating in long term. Any test, Philip alone or Dikepura, any test, no worries. Against error term, Now everything very good. Can we interpret? Can we interpret? So my error term, the p-value. Ernest is going to help us to interpret. The p-value is 0.32%. So the null hypothesis is saying the row is equal to 1. The alternative is saying the row is less than 1. The first one is say is not station, not stable. The other one is station. So Ernest, our error term, is it stationary or not? The gap between y, the gap between y negative x is equal to our error term, right? So is our error term stationary or not? It is stationary. It's less. Oh my goodness. As long as the p-value is less than 5%, we reject. And then the rejection is saying to be stationary, right? Because you confirm the H1. Are we together? Can I repeat? If my if my p-value is less than 5%, so I'll reject my null hypothesis and then confirm the alternative one. And then the alternative is saying the series is stationary. So which means my error term, this error term, or the gap, it's the error term, but also it's a gap, right? So the gap, my gap is stable. So as long as my gap is stable, even though this, even though my series not, they're not stable, but as long as my gap is stable, the series are still co-integrating in long run, right? So that's what we were studying today, right? So that's not what we see. That's not what we see. So when we compare the two, yes, Interbank, mm-hmm. What like there's not yes, the series itself, the interbank is not stationary, and even also the TBS is not stationary, but the gap between them is stationary, right? So what we saw was not what I said. One would be based on the graph. Mhm. Oh, yeah. Okay, based on the graph. Okay, your colleague is bringing a good point. Yeah, when you see it, when yeah, obviously you can see that the gaps are not equal. But how much is it deviating? How much is it deviating? Okay, let us look at the summary. Let us look at the summary, summaries of our error term and see how the volatility. You can see the mean is almost negative 0.7, but the mean of negative 0.7 with the standard deviation is 97. It's a bit closer. Even though there is a volatility, but the volatility is a bit closer to be a stationary, right? To be a stable number. Can we look at how we correct an error if it happened, or what we call error correction model. We can also regress for the error correction model. If there is a shocks in interbank, how we how will the chief economist will correct that error? Okay. No, we can't proceed, but let me just bring you one concept for you. Let me bring you one concept for you as economists. So this is my demand function. This is my supply function. Very simple. They meet at the equilibrium, right? So there is some demanding, but there is also a supply, right? If I have less supply, it means the price will be up because the demand is very higher than the supply. But in the long run, we assume that even though the government is not intervening, in the long run, we assume the supply will be equal to the demand. That's what we think as pointed. But in short run, there will be a deviation. The supply is high, the demand is high. One is greater than the other, right? So econometricians also look at the long run changes, but also the short run changes. So what we were analyzing now, we were analyzing the long run relationship, right? And tomorrow we are going to analyze the short run, and then we'll be covering our topics. So this is one of the topics that you can choose, and your thesis will be done. And I think at this stage we are at 50% to cover your thesis, your dissertation, using this example only. Do you see the essential behind the unit root test and the stationarity? Um, thank you for your kind attention. Tomorrow I'll be bringing to you, I will give you a small quiz basing on what we studied in last 20 minutes. But I will share the video plus an assignment for you too, or at least to come back in class with a full package for what was happening. Also with the data set. I will share assignment, the data set, and even also the video. And then you can replicate. You can imitate your lecture, right? Imitate it, copy paste. What I was doing now, right? Okay, thank you. What will be the topic? Okay, good question. What will be the topic for basing on what we are analyzing? So it will be the impact of okay. No. The effect of treasury bills on interbank rate. Yes, the impact of T-bills on the the impact of the impact of the impact of treasury bills on interbank rate. Or you can change and say the impact of government government instruments on commercial on financial stability for the commercial bank, right? Things like that. Yeah, you can change. You can change. You can change the title, but the content is to remain the same, right? That's how people can have different title, but the content are the same by changing the name. No, you want to come to the topic. You will not have the date. I will not give you the list. Okay, as long as I have already given you the data to say. So, but the scope is 2000, 2008 to 2019. It's up to you to search the current data set to 2025. But now you have one scope. You have 2008, 2019, 2019. You can do, but we say, oh, okay. We bring the updated one. I know Brigitte, we always, I can't accept the data sets. So she will always ask you to increase till to 2025 at least. Or 2024. But if you can convince her, okay, you can copy your dataset from your lecturer and then you can proceed with your dissertation. It will be a nice dissertation, right? Very nice. Very easy and nice. I can end it within 1 day. If I such. Okay, we can end it within 1 day. But it's up to develop the introduction, the problem statement. Yes. Okay. Thank you.